Here comes the news with a twist and a grin. Stephen Allen diving in again. Almost daily, but always sharp. He'll hit your brain like a lightning spark. Stephen Allen, almost daily. Laughs and facts, served out plainly. Your dose of wit, it's never shady. Stephen Allen, almost daily.
Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen and this is a day. So that counts, doesn't it? Welcome along to the live streaming version of it with all the new fans. Look at the side cam on this bad boy. Damn. And that's thanks to your Ko-fi contributions. More on that later. Meanwhile, in case you've never tuned in before, I should explain. I'm Stephen Allen. I go through the news. Didn't take that long. Probably could have guessed that from the title as well. Somehow I feel like you could have been on the right page for that. You could on the right page. I don't know why we're going all Ronnie Corbett or early doors. I used to have fake glasses. I used to have real glasses, and then I got laser eye surgery, and then I used to have fake glasses, which for some reason I bought for sketches. I've thrown them away. Maybe that's the next thing on the Ko-fi. I need to get some glasses with no prescription in. Good evening. If you'd like to get in touch while you're doing this, we've got the comment section. You can get your comments up in the chat over there. Sign into chat. What's happened? Why is it signed out? Okay, well, we'll see if that works. As soon as you get your side cam working, the chat goes weird. No, it seems to be working. It'll just say, all messages that you send will appear publicly. Not all messages. Surely they just mean the ones in the chat. Anyway, more on that later then. So actually, we should say hi to some of the people there already because Ems is there, Emsicles09, whose birthday is today, if I'm right in catching up with this, plus also Charlotte's birthday was yesterday. We've got some birthdays to do. Thankfully, Proper Memes, who's provided the thumbnail for this and loads of the AI footage stuff. It was a while ago someone had a birthday, didn't they? So now we have the ability to do this.
Happy birthday, here's your day to shine. Laughter and candles, wishes in line. Happy birthday, joy is on the way. Celebrate you, it's your special day.
She sounds happy, doesn't she?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, she sounds happy. So, yes, happy birthday to Charlotte and to Ems, who are talking about two saggy ones in the chat. I don't really know what you're talking about, but as I say, just be careful. Every message you send is seen publicly. So I'm reminded. What else we've got going on here as well? Mr. Cuff just turns up here, and Martin's back in, but with the word Martin in his username. Boom, this is what we're after. She's had a couple of energy drinks of the day. Oh, I bet she has. I could play that as... Wrong one. I thought that was going to be energy drinks of the day. It's not. All right, so I've rejigged the things over here, the stream deck. I ain't learnt it yet. Let's start off with what's in the newspapers. So we go to the front pages. Oh, crap, where did I put that one?
Here are today's front pages.
Harder than it looks, this. So, front pages, we start with the Daily Express. Leave no stone unturned for grooming gang's probe, says Kemi Badenoch. Yeah, it feels like that shouldn't even really be a controversial thing to say. Yeah, but you know what? I bet they don't. The front page of... Let's get rid of that one. Move into... Oh, here we are. The Daily Telegraph. Hollywood's issue with Sydney. She's not a lefty. I don't think it's the fact that she's got a lefty and a righty. Sydney Sweeney is... she has some people who lend her support. She has her supporters. And she's got some people who try to knock her. She's got some knockers. And something about that... I don't know. Somehow that's... related. Is that the only reason I loaded that one in? You telling me that's the only story that I thought, yeah, that's the only reason I thought that newspaper was worthy of a comment. The knockers joke. Okay, it's not going to be a great show. Take a week off if your distant cousin dies. Revolutionising the way that workers have certain rights means that distant relatives... No, come on, you've got to be careful. There's a graph that we could have drawn on here that is value of day off versus distance of relative. And if you plot that, at some point... Some people would be willing to knock off a relative. Do you know what I mean? Close loved one, you wouldn't want to do. Oh, no, come on. You get far enough down there, third cousin twice removed. Got to get the day off and, Maybe they're old already. I'm just saying there's going to be some Dignitas-related deals going on, which I'm not sure we should want. The Guardian, a critical moment. European leaders rally behind Ukraine. The reason I picked this is because I met Keir Starmer once before he was Prime Minister. And he was in Edinburgh, walking around. And I was in Edinburgh doing a show. I didn't hand him a flyer. I didn't think he'd have time to come and see my show. He probably wouldn't have enjoyed parts of it. But what you got here? Zelensky, Starmer, Macron, whoever that dude is. He doesn't fit into my theory. My theory is I walked past Starmer and realised, wow, he's short. Do you know how short Starmer is? He's very short. But during that election, all the short jokes are about Rishi Sunak because he's very, very short. So no one really ever comments on how short Starmer is. But Zelensky's shorter, and Macron, no one's surprised that a French leader is short, but it's also short. Front page of the Financial Times, I believe the first time we've ever loaded that newspaper in, shows how short they are. Because that door is normal size, and they're only slightly above the letterbox. They only come up to the knockers. And I refer you to the earlier Sydney Sweeney joke. Just there you go. They're short. That the front page of... It's not in-depth analysis. If you came here for in-depth analysis, I'm afraid I've had slightly too many of these. Daily Mail, angels are real, and I came face-to-face with one at my door just last week, says Nadine Dorris. Well, that's irrefutable. Because the two outcomes would be she's right, all the evidence thus far has been proved wrong by what she says in the Daily Mail, or Nadine Dorris is absolutely mad as a bunch of... I can't think of a non-swear word to put in there. Mad as a bunch of... Could be. Head of Navy's broadside at Reeves over defence cat. We'd like some defence. Things are kicking off. But look at this story. You've got this... Oh, dear. Oh, got an email. Got this story here on the side. This is ex-BBC star backing Huw Edwards as he makes a comeback. Is there really? We can actually see the news story down here. I got it from being inside the papers. Here we are. Shamed presenter Huw Edwards sparked outrage after hinting he may be planning a return to TV. He's basically got a new headshot on Facebook, and people are upset about this. And I can kind of see why. It seems like if I'd have been caught up in any of that stuff, I might keep some low profile rather than release this. Let's get a look. That's his new headshot. And it's a bold move to think you're that sexy that a thirst trap might correct your reputational damage. I'm not sure he will. If I'm brutally honest, I don't know. I think people are upset by that, but they wouldn't mind it with one small tweak. I think I made it better. There you go. I'm here to help. Right, back into the front pages. More comments on the way very shortly. Oh, Sir Keir Starmer's TikToking rubbish. Yeah. Same deal here, actually. We can get rid of this and go into the papers because... Here's the story from inside. Sir Keir Starmer has joined TikTok, even though the app is banned across government devices. So how are they doing it? I guess they had to buy another phone. But of course, there's been lots of attacks on him. You know, the comment section was brutal. And quite right, because I've looked at his latest TikTok. Here's a bit.
Oh yeah?
Morning, boss. How you doing?
How are you? How did you know I was coming down here?
I always know.
You're sitting there all night. Morning. Morning. Hiya.
Well, thank the sweet saggies that someone bothered to film that. Imagine if that would have happened and not been documented. I mean, I know he's not the most thrilling of chaps, but how is he more boring on TikTok? And here's the weird thing. On the app, don't know if you use TikTok a lot. I do. Follow me on there, at Mr. Stephen Allen. There's a bit at the top that says search for related content. And I wondered, what would be related to content like that? Here was the top video.
Hello, John here from John's Paints, and follow me online for more paint content. As you can see, I applied this second coat a couple of hours ago, and still not quite dry. Still not quite dry. Still not quite dry. So, still not quite dry.
It's literally like watching paint dry. So you're up to date with all of the front pages. Let's see what's happening in the chat, shall we? Get in the live chat and see what's happening. Oh, I've already missed loads, haven't I? Nuts. Good news, Charlotte, says Chris. Well, can we have a rib update? I believe that's what we're waiting for. If you've just tuned in, Charlotte broke her ribs last week, or the week before, was it? Life zooms by, doesn't it? Beautiful Macron pronunciation, says Joodles. Ah oui, Macron. It's the Coalition of the Willies, says Proper Memes. That's, I believe that was the comedy skit show in the 80s. Macron definitely wears lifts. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And he's still very short. These people I'm not sure. I know you shouldn't judge people just on, height. It's not a protected characteristic, is it? It won't be long. But the fact that the coalition of the willing have to stand on each other's shoulders in a long raincoat to reach buttons in lifts, I'm not happy about it, if I'm brutally honest. Hobbiton, yes, says Chris Hood. Exactly, that is the problem. Was the angel by the knocker. Imagine, I once caught an angel by the knockers. And it's a great evening. I don't know what we're talking about. M says Matron. No, I've got confused now. I wonder which story we're on. Matron Nadine is out again. She's found the gin. She saw an angel. So that must be true. This woman who didn't know how Channel 4 was funded when she was in charge of Channel 4, but she's the authority now. I have trust everywhere. Of course I trust what she says. Of course, who wouldn't? Martin says, is Huw going for Jackanory? Good evening. Charlotte says, I'm slowly getting back to myself now. All right. And Proper Meme says, I think we need to find Hugh's distant relative who wants a day off. A callback on the show. I'm loving this one. Riveting stuff, says Proper Memes. Exactly. And apparently, says Ems, they have a single phone in a locked box. That's how they do the TikTok. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe them either. If that's what you're implying, yeah, I don't believe them at all. That sounds like some sort of crime thing. The phone was locked in a box. Get some magician on there. They could do whatever they want, can't they? It's hardly the West Wing, is it? Exactly. Right. Before we move on, I think we could try and see if we've got any adverts to play. Because you know what this show's like. We need to fund it in various ways. I say various. It's you giving me money. So we'll be back after these messages. Hello, I'm Stephen Allen, and I've just got back from a gig. I'm tired because it was a long drive. And this is what I'm thinking, right? I love doing stand-up, but you spend longer driving than you do on stage. I'm a better driver than I am a stand-up comedian, which might not be saying much. I was pulled over by the police recently, so there you go. But it got me thinking. I should try and find a way where instead of me going out to work, I just sit around and get given money. So I asked Grok about it. He had some suggestions. I could try and get a sugar daddy, which I've reached an age now where if I did get a sugar daddy, they'd be retired. And thanks to what's happening with this government and pensioners, I don't think they'd have a lot of money for me. I could be a trad wife. Trad wife, I imagine, more likely. If you come home and see me bent over the stove, I imagine your heart sinks. The other option was to try and get given money online. Go to kofi.com/@Mr. It's better than the other options. Now we're back. So, thank you for the way things are funded. You keep them coming through. It'd be very kind of you. Let's get stuck into the news bits. I think we used to have a jingle for that, didn't we? It's true, there's more jingle than content at this stage, and it comes out sounding like this.
Let's get inside the news.
Right. We start with Telly's Stephen Mulhern says he was kicked out of the Magic Circle for revealing a trick on kids' TV show Fingertips. Fingertips? Never heard of it. Sounds a bit weirder than I wanted it to, but I hope that when you get thrown out the Magic Circle, they'll make a big deal of it. You know what I mean? They invite you to, if you just kindly step into this wardrobe, all right, I'll go in the wardrobe and, whoa, you know what I mean? It would seem like a waste. If you're getting thrown out in the Magic Circle, they really should saw you in half, throw you out in separate bits, and then you walk back in. I don't know. They're the ones who could plan it, not me. They're the Magic Circle ones. This story bothers me. You know what I'm like for this story. Sea sewage protest hit by floaters. The story is that a protest swim about our filthy seas was called off because of the filthy seas. The Santas Against Sewage, that would be a weird dip, was due to be held in somewhere in Cornwall. I didn't even try half of those words. But the bosses were alerted over the storm discharge. Storm discharge, of course, is one of the crueler comments on that Channel 5 threads. But let's not get into that. The point, I'm just still appalled at how bad our water is. I'm like Fergal Sharkey on this. We're both not known for some reason. We've both ended up being really upset about this, and I'm bothered by all the money that they make, and they put turds in our water. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's not fair because when they put turds in our water, they get benefit. They get the dividends. They get pay rises. When I do it once, I get asked to leave that regatta. Not fair. Interesting. Let's have a look. Didn't storm discharge blow through last night? Martin says. Hey, what you do in your own flat is entirely up to you. I immediately thought of Finger Mouse, and it's ruined my memories. Finger Mouse has got rude now as well. Thanks for that. Everything everyone's saying today sounds rude. Proper Meme says just the tips. That's the spin-off ITV2 version of that show, isn't it? CITV, 2001 to 2008. Fingertips, was it? I suppose the fact that I wasn't watching kids' TV show in 2001 is good. And also means I do have the moral high ground to make the Huw Edwards jokes. Why, thank you. I love that you found us that info. Oh, yeah, Martin, thank you for doing the research. I'm glad someone's fact-checking this. I wouldn't expect too much. Here he is. Andy Murray, board games to tears. The headlines in this paper are a nightmare. Sir Andrew Murray reduced his son to tears by beating him at Monopoly. The tennis legend, 38, was playing Teddy, 6. And you won? Wow. Look, I've not hit that age yet. My lad's 3, so I don't know. Maybe I don't have that competitive streak, which means I'll never be number 1 at a sport. But I also don't have to rub my kid's face in it. Loser! One of them's a better position, right? Because neither one of us are going to win Wimbledon anymore. So I think my point of view might be right. Also, look, if Andy Murray's son is all emotionally mucked up, it's not because of Monopoly. That story, I'm sure he thinks it's because of Monopoly. I'm sure he's told a podcast that he beats his kid, and that's what, not in that way, but it's illegal in Scotland, isn't it? But I think it's just the emotional thing. You know what he sounds like when he talks. There is no way that kid feels any emotion. Yeah, that's right. I really love you. You're so great. You're my favourite little sweet boy. And the kid's going, why is he sounding like that? He can have no emotions. Why does he have no emotions for me? I think you're really great. It's because his mum was a nightmare. Right. Oh, I like this one. This is a good story. Do we zoom in? Oh. Interesting. Gen Z women are more confident doing DIY than men of the same age. Interesting. I knew there was a reason I liked women who were 25. So, you're up to date. Was that it? Is that what it was? Probably was. How old Sydney Sweeney again? Oh, that's the sewage story. We've already done that from another paper. It's got to be something in here that's not rubbish. Although, yeah, let's give with one hand and take away with the other. This is a story that children who spend more time on social media end up with shorter attention spans, which is kind of annoying because they're exactly the audience that you need to... If you want to be big on social media and all that lot, you've got to try and get the young'uns in. Look, they're not even paying attention to this. Even since I started this story, young people, I'm talking to... No, they're not even looking at the screen now. Oi, young people, the whole thing... Stop doing the double screen thing. Pay attention to the fact that you've left me streaming on your phone, and I suppose it still counts. It still counts. Try and get them on. Young people, hello. Young people. They're not even into the side cams. What's wrong with these kids? All right, this one. Might be something in this story. Have a look. UFO is Chinese rocket. A streak of blazing light spotted over Britain was a Chinese space rocket, not a UFO, according to experts. Witnesses reported seeing the bright pillar at around dawn last Wednesday. But apparently, it's a Chinese rocket. Now, alien news. Yep, that's a good point. We should have played the jingle if I'd remembered. This is alien news. But it's not alien news, is it? That's the problem. It's not aliens, it's the Chinese. And here's the awkward truth. You know, if you were walking down the street and you saw what you thought was a UFO land and crash, and you ran over there and you were like, oh, some creature's getting out of it, and someone, they got out of it and they look Chinese, would you say anything? Because we live in a really awkward time for tenseness around certain issues. Oh, it's an alien. I'm going to meet an alien. Oh, you look a bit. No, I'm not. Didn't realise there are some people here you're going to love. What? You know what I mean? People don't like to talk about race when it really could solve crimes and things. The idea that you'd meet an alien, you'd be like, oh, did not realise they were the right ones. Do you know what I mean? Awkward. Let's move on. I feel seen. I was just checking my phone, says Chris Hood. Yeah, because you're a young'un. Good evening. Is it Cocoa time yet? Says Martin. You see what I mean? People aren't young watching this stream. Martin says, alien news, and then I wouldn't say anything in my Chinese accent. Not these days. I think you're right not to do that. I think that would be the worst way to actually meet aliens. You know, you open the door and you think, oh, I know what to do in this situation. I don't speak the language, but I can do this. Every time. Every time. Where do we get to? Interesting one, this. Listeners blast Radio 4 for C-word and F-bombs. Highbrow Radio 4 has been slammed by its own listeners for littering the airwaves with C-word and the F-bombs. Oh no, nightmare for you, isn't it? I've not heard them do it. I listen to a little bit every so often. I've not heard, who is it, the continuity announcers? What's the name? Neil Nunes? Is that his? BBC Radio 4. And now it's a bunch of... I wasn't even going to use that C word. I went, didn't mean the one from China. I meant, people are a bunch of... They're quick. They're good. That's just how we say it up north, says Emsicles. I don't know what you mean. Could you record a clip and send it? Steady on. Martin's retracted something. Yeah, on that topic, probably better to as well. And I love Neil's incredibly bassy voice. BBC Radio 4. Now, the Archers. He also does the voiceover on, what's the flipping kids show? It's not Tommy Boos, they're from In the Night Garden. He does Twirly Woos. I watch the Twirly Woos with my kids and all of a sudden, all about a bunch of... A Tale of Country Folk. This is a shame that it's not the story I want it to be. Lapland, UK, dearer than a trip to the Arctic. This is visiting Lapland, UK. I need to mark on the table where the X's are for this, don't I? Can be more expensive than flying to the Arctic Circle. Tickets for the festive experience this Saturday are selling for as much as 180 quid. Yeah, add 'em up, it's really expensive. It's not the story we want, is it? We know everything's expensive. We don't really care. What we want is the story of someone who set up some Winter Wonderland thing that's terrible. Where's that one? We've had that for the last 3 or 4 years, and I love that. It's 30 quid to go to this thing, and all it was like a field with a picture of a tree in it. Yeah, what'd you expect? How are you not following these stories? What was the one last year? There was meant to be a Willy Wonka-inspired Winter Wonderland thing, and it was so terrible. It was just like a warehouse, and someone had printed off pictures and stuck them on the wall. There was one elf trying to serve drinks or whatever, and it was terrible. And I love that story because everyone was complaining, and all the people, when the parents complained, they would say, like, oh, my kids hated it. They were crying. That is the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That finally encapsulated what it was all about. The kids had a terrible time. That's the thing. Look, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has a few main themes. Grandparents sleeping together. I'm glad we don't touch on that. Kids having a terrible time. Crying, being turned purple, getting shrunk down, disappearing down an egg hole. Don't know what that was about. What happened to the other ones? One of them got stuck up the pipe, the big fat German kid. Thump. Then there was the other one who she weighed too much or something. She was... Yeah. All you need to do is have a terrible Winter Wonderland thing where the kids hate it, And then you just get some Oompa Loompas to sing something about, you know, Oompa Loompa Dumpity Doo, I've got another lesson for you. Stop trying to spend your parents' money, you absolute gits. And if you need some Oompa Loompas, if we look over here, there we go. Oompa Loompa Doopity Doo. That's what they said on the way out of that meeting. Yeah, fact. All right, see what's going on over here. Martin says Huw likes going to Lapland. That's the dodgiest euphemism we've had all show. Proper Meme says no wonder it was expensive. And then, yep, and isn't that how Charlotte hurt her ribs from Ems? What's happening over here? Let's get the latest. Ooh, ayo. These are the noises that I've made inside my head as well. Mr. Cuff says there were 3 elves outside number 2. Oh, Mr. Cuff, getting to the joke before I thought of it. Chocolate Pocket, says Chris Hood. Indeed. We're back with a Chocolate Pocket chat in the chat. More of that later. Is that how you did your ribs in? What time is it? We've only done 26 minutes. It feels longer, doesn't it? I think we've done all the good ones. Oh, no, I like this one. I kind of like this one. This is the only story that I will talk about today on All Hit Radio. Normally I try and separate the content, so when we finish this, you could tune in at 1 o'clock by listening online to All Hit Radio, hear some songs and me doing some jokes about the news. I'd picked this one as not good enough for the streaming show, so I thought I'd throw it in the old radio show. But whilst talking about it and researching it, I proved myself wrong. So previously, this would have been my hot take. In panic at costly Christmas. Hard up Brits say the cost of Christmas is their biggest stress, and there's other stuff about the size of the oven. My point was this, and I've said this for years, quite often stress to do with Christmas is self-inflicted. We get into this weird frame of mind, like tradition says you have to do this. You have to do the sprouts, and the sprouts won't be ready, and oh, it's an absolute nightmare. And you're like bringing stress on yourself so you can complain about stress. Maybe this is just the hideousness of my own childhood, but there's so much about preparing food that is toxic because, oh, look how much I've had to do. Right. Then do less. If you're going to moan about how much you have to do at Christmas, do less. Everyone will be happy with that. People would rather have peace and quiet than Brussels sprouts. Fact. But I was trying to complain, say, like, that's not what Christmas is about. And then it hit me for the first time in my entire life. Being a martyr, it is kind of on theme for the original Christmas. I mean, we've cut to the end of the story somewhat, but yeah, it's on brand more than I thought it was. So you go for it. Let's have a look. Christmas is much cheaper if you don't go to Lapland, UK. Exactly. And why would you? Why would you go to Lapland? Go to Lapland. Free lag gets 3 years. Convicted fraudster. Wrongly freed from prison after a fake email ordered his release, has been jailed. This was a great story. I threw this one in just because I love the original version. That a fraudster managed to get an email sent to like the boss of the prison that looked so convincing. It was just like, oh yeah, that fraudster should be released, and they went for it. Brilliant. I've got no comment on that other than how did they not see it coming? Is it that we're so desperate to get space in our prisons that we're erroneously letting criminals out left, right, and centre? A letter like that, well, why would I bother looking into it? I'm just going to say yes and get the room back. You know what I mean? Still, as ever, it would ruin Shawshank. My old friend, Andy Dufresne. I've not warmed up to that. I've done too many Ronnie Corbetts. Oh, this is all right. Chatbots are picking our perfect presents. This story is, forget Santa, chatbots will decide what millions of Brits get for Christmas. Yeah, it says under 35s, but we're using chatbots to pick gifts for us, of course. It's brilliant. Thanks to the way things are set up on the internet, with AI can pick gifts for you, can write the things in cards, you can get it to just get in touch with Moonpig or whatever. It's amazing. I don't know what I had apparently written in that Valentine's card this year, but it must have been pretty good because it got me some sex with the postman. So, you're up to date on that. What's the complaint here? I get all my jokes in the chat from Grok. Well, that explains a lot. That explains your, I probably can't even say it, the thing that it did about Mecca thing. Loving your work, chat. Wait, Martin, you're not loving my work? Here comes the leftovers again. Now he is talking about me. Christmas is, we've done that one. And who wants a free lag? Well, at these prices, you can get one for Christmas. Might be difficult to wrap it up. Check the IP address. IP equals in prison. Hey. And chatter clause. What? Hell of a delivery. Hell of a delivery. I don't know what's happening. Before we go in, I think we've done all the stories, have we? We've done all the stories. I also wanted to do this because I got a message on social media. If you'd like to get in touch, not only the chat, but social media, at Mr. Stephen Allen on pretty much all the different platforms, as it says, scrolling down there. And we also have the ability to, emails to me at mrstephenallen.co.uk. That's right. But I got one of these. I got a tweet from LBC back on DAB, who said, how about covering the price of Quality Street? Do I look like a current affair? No, consumer show? Yeah, probably do, yeah. Who on earth would spend £26.99 on it? I'm with you there. Apparently it's sold at Waitrose at this price. Sweet mercy. And there's a picture for those listening on to the audio version. Quality Street, a box of £26.99. I got to be honest. If I walked into a shop and said, have you got any Quality Street? And the guy said, certainly, sir, it's £26.99. The next words out of my mouth would be, have you got any lower Quality Street? Because and here's what I think they should do, Quantity Street. I've got my new idea. Here's what we're going for. And I think we could do something. You'd probably have to, you get a lot for it for your £26.99. You'd have to back up the car. But I think it would work out. I've just made Christmas cheaper. You're welcome. Turns out I am a consumer affairs thing. Let's have a look what we've got going here. Quality Street says proper memes. Chris says proof, if needed, that Martin is not a spider. Oh, because he said I got out of the bath for this. Good. Proper meme says Quality Street tin, 750 grams at £12 at Tesco. Okay, well, we're making some savings here. That's good. I just had to take a quick swig. I can't remember where I loaded this one into. Energy drink. I'll do. Now, I think we're about sorted. How many licks does it take to get to the centre of a strawberry cream? Says Charlotte. I don't know. I'll find out later. We'll do that on the spin-off show. Joodles, this is aimed at the Christmas Eve petrol station fellas. Yeah, fair enough. There was a weird story in the news. Did we do it as a joke on here? According to a survey, people spend 29 hours shopping for Christmas. I was like, that's impressive because I do all mine on Christmas Eve. That's like folding space-time. No arachnid me. Good. We're now not being spiders. Oh, what do we normally do at this stage? We normally go through where you can see me. Let's have a bit of this. Let's load this bad boy in, get rid of this one, and... Oh, I think I moved on to a flipping different page.
Here are the plugs where you can see Stephen Allen all this week.
There we go. Let's load in the actual one. I'm loving my side cam too much. So, here's where you can get the notes of where you can see me. Not loads today. So, if you want to come and sit and watch the telly, watch me do some new stuff, Wednesday, GB News, 11 p.m. I'll be reviewing some newspapers the next days. Thanks. Saturday, Times Radio, 5:30 p.m. in the afternoon, the comedy panel, where I'll be reviewing some of the news of the week. Thanks. Sunday, GB News, 6 a.m. It's an early one, don't get me wrong, but I will be reviewing the newspapers from that day. Thanks. It's a theme, isn't it, in what I get employed to do? I'll give it that much. I know Mr. Cuff in chat has already said 6 a.m. I know. Here's the problem with that one as well. It's the GB News Christmas party the night before, which I have not been invited to. But it's just, yeah. People are going to be struggling, I imagine. And I'm going to be there also struggling. I might not look like the most tired person at that time in the morning. That's the good thing about it being the day after the thing. Oh, got some comments coming through. Oh, we're on the wrong page there. 6 a.m. Yeah, Sinful Charlotte says, got a comedy gig to go to on Thursday. Never been to one before. Oh, where are you going? Where are we off to see? I'll try and see if I can get booked in for it. Although I already know I'm not available Thursday night. I was offered like a corporate thing just before this started. I had a phone call. Couldn't take the darn thing because I'm busy. Steve is nearly a full-time reviewer. Well, thank you. Nearly. I'm nearly employed. I'll give you that much. I was going to say something about... Oh, Christmas parties. So I'm also off to one tonight as well. The trigonometry chaps. I'm off to their Christmas party. I'm so happy that I got invited, but you don't know what it's like when you're this much of an introvert. So I go on telly all the time. I go on stage. I do these things. Before all of them, not a whiff of nerves. But because I know I'm going out today on a social event, I literally had some like, oh, God. Oh, dear. So maybe I won't stay long. So that's what I'm up to tonight. That's why you've been booked. Biggins will be a mess. Because exactly. I presume I've been booked. I've even been offered the chance of doing that night. But it's the bosses are looking into it. There is a chance I'm going to do the newspaper review Saturday night and then also do Sunday morning. Everyone else is going to be hungover. This is the only time people like me make work. Kitchen is the place to hang out at parties. You'll always find me in the kitchen at parties. Proper memes. Totally agree with you. Are corporates ever actually fun to do? Sweet saggies. No, they're not. Saggy? No. No. But it would have been nice to get the money on a Thursday, but there you go. So, look, I think we've pretty much done everything. Thank you for being here all the way to the end, Emsicles. Thank you for commenting on my pronunciation, Joodles. I know you are... Oh, it's going to be so rude. Gifted in the way of the tongue. You can't say that on here, can you? Good at languages. So I said something and I said Macron. Martin, thank you for commenting on how slick. Yeah, it's getting pretty slick because I've got the thing these days. Look, my webcam is set up that I can show you the notes. We can go off to over here in case you want to know what's on the other side of the room. You can start off up here just in case. Oh, I've written it everywhere in this flipping place. And if you need me, well, you can come and get me right where you found me. Good evening. So, thank you for contributing towards the fancy side. The side cam's going places, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Well, it's going different angles. Staying where it is. Happy birthday, Ems. Happy birthday for yesterday, Charlotte. Anyone else need anything else before I'm gone? Because I think we're done. Ems was saying she was staying all the way to the end. I don't think you realise how loose and sloppy this gets right at the end. It's probably a rude thing as well, isn't it? So, keep your comments coming through at Mr. Stephen Allen for social media. Thank you to LBC for those ones. Listen to Sidecam has its delay back, does it? Oh, no. Because I have to run it through another piece of software. Let's get it back. Oh, nuts. I'll look at that later. But we have to get rid of that fancy... to spin it around, I have to use... That's a shame. So, we're done for the day. Get yourself subscribed. Smash the like. I'm used to that. I don't know what Emsicles... Oh, it being a bit sloppy at the end. Fair enough. Good point. Well made. Enjoy whatever you've got coming up. And we'll see you again Thursday for another one of them. Till next time. Bye. Gotta find the flipping thing.